Hey, welcome to my channel. Come on and take a look at a property I just bought. So today we're gonna be going over how to find a good deal. Why is this property something that I bought? How is this a good deal? Well, we'll go over some key points and talk that through. I'm Jason Pye, your Los Angeles contractor and developer, and this is Buy, Build, Sell. All right, so like I said in the intro of this video, why is this the right property to buy for me? Well, if you've listened to any of my videos previously or looked at any of my content, which you should, by the way, go check out other videos here. But let's go through why I bought this property, what the numbers on it are, and how I'm looking at the deal. So let's first talk about the 3 things that you need to do when you are looking for a good deal. The first thing you need to do is you need to be an expert in the area. So become the expert in the area that you're looking for a deal in. It means knowing it better than the best real estate agent in the neighborhood. It means that you know that when you're buying that deal with that property size, that square footage, everything that you've got on that lot, that you know that you're getting a good deal for it. The second thing you need to do is make sure that it's obvious. This is when you're starting. When you've already kind of started rolling the dice and you're already in the game, not every deal will be obvious, but I do suggest that on your first deal, finding your first good deal, make sure that that deal is obvious. It should be glaringly obvious that you've got a good deal in your hands, that the numbers you're looking for are where they need to be, that you're not taking any major risks. If you are taking major risks, it's fine, just be prepared for the fact that it's a risk. You want to try to reduce your risk as much as possible on that first deal because it will give you the taste for what success could be and what failure could be, and it'll give you a better idea as to what you should be expecting when you're actually in the field doing this on a daily basis. And the third thing you need to do is try to have an exit strategy beyond the basic understandings, right? So knowing what you can do with the property when you're done with it, when you've already put in that money to invest in that property, what are your options? If your only option is to sell, that's fine, but know that that's your only option, right? That means having strategies in place of when you need to be finished, how much you need to put it on for, when you need to be reducing your price or raising your price. Having a clear exit strategy is really important when you're in this game, and having more than one option is always better than not. So let's understand this property, why we're standing here today, and why this is my next deal. If you know me at all, you know that I do a lot of work in Pacific Palisades. So number 1, be an expert in your area. I would say I am definitely an expert in Pacific Palisades. It's a neighborhood I've built close to 40 or more homes just in a singular pocket of the Pacific Palisades. So do I know Pacific Palisades pretty well? Yeah, I would say so. Number 2 is like make sure the deal is obvious, right? Have an understanding that it's gonna be good. Because of my track record in Pacific Palisades, I already know what my expected outcomes should be. So by knowing this property, knowing that it was available, and knowing the price that I can buy it for at the time seemed like the right move for me to make, and I bought it. So 1, I have properties down the street. I've sold multiple houses just on this block alone. So I have a lot of experience with this street. Buying another house on this block was not an uncommon thing for me to do. 1, I've got down pretty well. Number 2 is making sure that it's an obvious deal. And in my eyes, it's an obvious deal because I've done this multiple times. Not that it's so low, it's not like I bought it at such a price that it was obviously good, but it was obviously good because I've had so much experience in this neighborhood that buying it even at a premium made sense to me. Number 3 is make sure that you know your exits. So this comes down from my standpoint of view is understanding my finances, how I'm getting the money to afford to pay for this process. And then number 2, understanding where, especially in a market that's fluctuating at the moment, understanding what my possible moves could be when we're at the end of it. The next 10 months when we're doing plans and permitting and building and doing all that stuff, I'm not too concerned with what my exit strategy will be. But as I get to the finishing stages of this home, when we're building the home, Then I'm gonna start to begin to wonder, okay, in the current market structure that we have right now, what's my game plan? How will I refinance it? Will I rent it out? Will I sell it at a lower price? Will I sell it at a higher price? What is my next move, right? So that's gonna come for me at a later stage, but having an idea at the front end of the game is much better. You are much better off having an idea as to what to do in any situation before you get started than during the process. Because I've been doing this long enough that I know I can pivot at any stage, I'm not as concerned with it, but I do believe that it is really important advice to give when you're getting started. Another solution that I could have done when I am evaluating the exits on this property is if it came to a situation in the market where it didn't even make sense to build this property, I could always remodel it and flip it quick, make less profit, but at least get the debt off of my books. Right now, we're gonna do a quick Q&A where we're gonna talk about new development and opportunities and why we're in this home today. So I'm gonna get hit with some questions. I'll answer those questions right here. And of course, if you have any more questions, please leave them down below. So the way I design houses on the properties that we're buying, every single property is just a tad different. Not every single property is the same width, the same length. There's a lot of variation that happens. In the Palisades, there are a lot of similar lots, which is really beneficial. So when you get a similar size lot, you can really just take the last house you designed, put it on there, and go through plan check. Every now and again, you get a special lot that's just a little bit different, sometimes a little wider, a little longer, has a unique shape to it or whatever. This lot happens to be a little bit wider than most lots. It's a corner lot, so that makes it more unique as well, which means I'm gonna be stuck with wider side yards, but I also have a wider house. So the designs for most of the homes that we do are not gonna be exactly the same, but there's going to be a lot of the same structure to how the houses are designed in terms of flow and aesthetics and how the rooms are placed, but it's just gonna be a little bit different, a little bit more unique, not too off. So how did I find this deal? That's a great question. Everyone wants to know how to find a great deal. There are so many ways of finding deals out there. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of every single opportunity for deal finding, but I will tell you how I found this deal. Happens to be that the neighbor behind this home is a fan of my work. Like I said, I've done over 40 homes just in this pocket. So a lot of the neighborhood knows who I am and has access to finding me. It's not like I'm that hard to get a hold of. So this neighbor reached out and said, hey, I know my neighbor is looking to sell. They're getting ready to sell. Are you interested in buying it? And I said, of course. Just that introduction alone allowed me the ability to get in before a lot of other people were getting in. Because it was a trust situation, it did go to market, but because I had a stronger connection with the agent at that point, because I'd already put in an offer, it did a lot of things for me. One, it got me more time in escrow, got me strong clarification on the numbers, where my number needed to be to get the home, and made the process a lot smoother because both agents on the side of the deal knew who I was and knew who they were dealing with. So that made the process a lot more comfortable. So I knew about the house before it went to market, probably 2 to 3 months beforehand. So there was a lot of time for them to be reviewing my offer and talk about what the options were. It was on the market for about 2 weeks. There were multiple people that were clamoring for the deal, trying to get it. My price probably went up about $200,000 for my original offer, but at the time I knew I wanted it and it was worth the deal, so I made it happen. The way I get most of my deals is through particular relationships with agents that I have. I'm not normally concerned whether it's on the market or off market, but I have multiple agents that are always trying to find me deals, and they're always sending me deals that they know are deals that I'm potentially interested in. So those are the deals that I'm mainly looking at. I do get a lot of off-market opportunities from people who send me multiple deals every single day, but I will say that 90% of those end up just being straight to junk. There's another 10% that are worth looking at, and maybe 1% of those I'm really writing on. So I'm looking for particular deals that are, the needle in the haystack. So like I said, why are we here today? What is this house? What are we looking at? We want to go over the buy, the build, and the sell on this house. It's what the name of the show is. It's what I got to share with you guys. That's why we're here. I bought this property for $3.2 million. originally offered at 3 million. I came up to 3.2. I'm looking at this deal saying I think we're gonna be into the build roughly about the same one as down the street, a little bit more expensive. So if we're remembering the numbers correctly, there was about 1.8. So I would assume just 10%, we're probably looking at about a $2 million build here. So at 3.2 to 5.2 with the build, and then hopefully we have at least a 6.5 to $7 million exit. If we're looking at those numbers, I think we're all gonna be in good shape, but only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this video. Genuinely appreciate your support. Love all the help you can give me. Your comments down below mean the most to me. I'll see you there. Of course, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, like this video. And if you like these videos, go ahead and check out other videos I've done just like this, and I'll see you on the next one.